they're speedy in towards this B bomb site. They have one set of utility in IAR's hands. So you imagine this sails over towards that B bomb site, and Rage will be the one that will be tested.
Are they expecting him to start moving forward as well? That's a slower smoke coming out from market, which means that rotation should be coming over soon. Rage good for one. He's still fighting back. Oh, Viva's already found another on the other side, so advantage gain for the CTs. And IG, they will be able to move back onto the bomb site courtesy of Viva's CZ, which keeps on going. How often do you see a CZ get 3 kills in a pistol round? Not very often. Child King left alone, quick trade away, will find the first, a dink onto a second as well. He's made it all possible. Unicorn's nearby, and he's not letting it happen. Not on my watch, he says. And IG, another 3K from Viva, but even so, the skin of their teeth is what gives them that pistol round.
Yeah, to be there as that quick correspondent on that B bomb site after Rage takes contact, for Viva to get as much done as he did with the CZ is kind of ridiculous, to be quite honest. Most of the time we see them in close range positions. It's very, very hard to effectively trade when a gun's going full auto at you around the other corner, even if it has only 12 bullets. Viva was just tapping away, and I don't know, things are looking pretty solid in that regard. See if Viva keeps up the pace going into the second map, because that would be lovely to see. He has to compensate.
We've still got a couple of spicy meatballs coming out already in this round. Few quick kills and connectors maintained. Destroyer and Viva do not want to give this one up for free. The grenade didn't do too much. Viva moves on, gets another one. IIR sticking around for a little bit too long. Eagle's not able to find anything so far. The Child King will change that, as he will be discovered as well on his own. Kind of discovery you don't want to be too happy about. Gas, a lonely fella, and lonely he will die.
All in all, pretty easy stuff there from Invictus. Held onto that connector control. We're fighting pretty heavily in towards middle, and Wings Up weren't getting a whole lot done with those deagles. It was only when they got into these closer range fights that, you know, that body spam starts to become a bit more of a factor. A couple of upgraded pistols to come back into the round here for Wings Up, but we'll see a very strengthened buy going into round number 4. These are the conversion rounds that Invictus want to get under their belt.
Oh, careful now. Flying and Destroy have already found themselves a few, and this is just money to be made. Wings are not off to a great start in IG. Well, look on the bright side, Michael. At least they've already equalized the score that they were at last time over, so it can't possibly get worse. Or rather, it's already gotten better.
And here's the part where they get 16 in a row. Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
That would be pretty ridiculous, actually. You know, that would be insane. I kind of want it to happen now that you've said that. just to prove me wrong. Oh, is he? Oh, I love this. Child King setting up for the Molotov towards the back of triple as well. If I'm not wrong, that's the one that needs to be deployed from that particular angle. Oh, yeah, there goes the molly. Love it. Flying Scott out. He's forced off. Man, I love that Molotov. It's so nice. Very hard to pull off. Very difficult lineup, but they get it done. A second one as well to follow through. Flying's been tagged up. Moving back. Land catches him out. Shuts him down. And 5-on-4 retake with not much utility for the CTs, or rather firepower.
Oh, they're getting picked apart here just as they're trying to rotate in towards this A-bomb site. Only Destroyer and Rage left. And now just Destroyer. They would have liked to have gone to save, but already jungle compromise. CT spawn was going to be traversed from Wings Up. And they keep 4 up in the round. Really solid stuff overall there for the execute. And yeah, the Molotov was actually very well placed on top of Flying, but then they smoked it off. I think they threw kind of like an on-the-fly CT smoke, which extinguished the flames and gave Flying a bit more room, only for him to get tagged by a follow-up Molotov after the fact.
Yeah.
So they were trying to make amends. They're going to go back to it. You know, it worked out swimmingly the last round, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Not to mention, there's a double op that's been pulled out from IG's side, so already you want to be going for things like that. You know, quick executes with a lot of Molotovs in them are always good against a double op. That is, if Viva doesn't just kill you all before you get there, which is always a possibility with Viva. Full exit comes in. Once again, they've actually delayed the push for a little while, and that means that Gas has been brought down. Flying just pushes into Palace, gets the first. Now he's going to be looking to set up a crossfire, but he's already gone down. Child King with the double entry on positioning angles, and, well, that's what I'm talking about, Michael. Viva just runs them over, destroying them. What a flick, though. Brings it back again. It's individual play after individual play. And Viva's the one been pulling off most of them, but no one to see means no one to shoot. And no chance to stop this bomb from being planted.
Yeah, they know exactly where Viva was positioned, so over towards B they go. In spite of Viva's best efforts to hold onto that A-bomb site. Not the target in the late stages here for Wings Up. And yeah, this will just be that choice to save. Too detached from the action, too many positions he'd have to clear out with an AWP, no less. And he is still keeping up that pace here for the side of Invictus, but it hasn't always resulted in round wins. It's the first time he gets a multi-kill, and it hasn't paid forward.
That was a really nice response from IG as well to the execute this time over. Flying's able to get the first one, and after that even backs off to try and pincer in for the triple crossfire. But when he goes back down under Palace, Child King somehow managed to get both him and the player inside. It's just, you don't see that very often from a player being able to do so much. And that's where maybe the lack of counter flashes coming in, maybe the lack of, flashes overhead just to blind out whoever's pushing out through A main coming in becomes more relevant. There just wasn't the assistance for that crossfire to be fully functional on the Wings Up, or rather the IG side, where that could have just ripped them apart, could have torn them to shreds.
Yeah, last time the Wings Up side went for the execute, there was only one player in Flying, right? But this time over, Invictus had 3 players. They're quick to respond, but yeah, just kind of a breakdown in the crossfires, even with it being the right direction. See if Viva can get something done with this saved over AWP, because Wings Up are making good progress on towards short. How many flashes have they eaten? And so as a result, Spam will be met through the top side of Connector, and Viva is actually the one to strike first, but it's a very vulnerable B bomb site that's capitalized on. No one here to defend for Invictus, so a 5-on-4.
What's going on? Come on, buddy. You can do it. All right, there you go. He's been able to get himself boosted up. Yeah, IG at this point would just rather save, and you can't blame them for it. There were a couple of circumstances where... nice movement. But there were a couple of circumstances where... And I know it's just one bunny up, Michael, but it's just so smooth in the glide. There's a few circumstances where you have to look over towards Viva and say, okay, you could have definitely seen him there. 2 players jumped straight past, but they were very talented vision in towards short. But that's fine. That's the entry part with it. You've got rehearsed in your head. You know what you're going for. It's a lot of set play based CS, and it's fine to be bound by it. The question is, can they hold on to their weapons? And seems like they can't.
I actually like that there from Invictus, trying to chase down that kill that Viva's able to get on towards short. There's a weapon that's dropped, and so they're hoping to recover it, but Wings Up were there to defend.
It's not just that, but interestingly enough, Michael, I don't know if you noticed this, but they threw a spawn from smoke. They threw a smoke from spawn.
Okay.
And they blocked out the top of apartments so that they didn't feel safe backing off from apartments. So they were trying to funnel them into exit franks as well, which is just a very nice little play to go for. All right. Okay. Why not?
Peeking around a smoke, SMG almost got his hands on an upgrade, and look at what they're doing. Look at how they're funneling back into Destroyer's hands, and nobody's expecting it. But 1 is not going to be enough for that type of a play. I got the drop considerably on the Wings Up squad, and has brought it back to equal numbers. Wings Up are tagged. They are low, and they haven't made much progress to either side of the map. And so now they set their sights onto middle. Can they maybe get a boost up? Some sort of sneaky play on an approaching Invictus player? Someone on rotation, perhaps? Because the B site will be the one that sees a bit of siege.
I am not sure. I'm not sure, but I think he might not actually have seen IIR in that position because of the darkness and whatnot coming over. But we're going to have to hold the point because Rage is all alone. He's waiting for backup to come in. Flying is coming as soon as he can, but Viva's the one to find the initial kill. So Rage only needs to be good for 1, and maybe not even that. Viva comes around, shuts down another one. 12-2, man. He's cracked. He's actually
Yeah.
just cracked. He's insane. But just to pick up on what I was mentioning earlier, the player in underpass from the terrorist side, rather from the counter-terrorist side, I think it was Destroyer. I think Destroyer didn't actually see IIR because of the lighting in underpass. You saw him flick over towards another player who was peeking out to him from overhead, even though that peek came later on. Either that or he just grossly overestimated how long it takes for the jump to actually land down, and he's thinking, hey, I can kill the player who is, I can kill the guy who's peeking me instead of jumping.
Yeah, I think he just prioritized the immediate threat because the one that was up top was the one actually shooting at him, so maybe just been trying to save his own life, save his own skin. And they may get skinned alive. Once again, A-side execute here for Wings Up, and there are two players close by. Round smokes above them. Flying does have sightlines on ramp and not seeing much progress. The flash will be enough to deter him off the angle, and there's a tag, but not too much of a considerable portion of damage here for Wings Up. Instead, they're finding kills around the map as well. The lurk from IAR nets nothing. And Wings Up, these smokes aren't exactly the safest prospect. They can get this bomb planted, especially with Land's advanced position.
They don't have any utility for the post plants. No flashes, nothing to keep control over CT. So Land might actually need to go back into the bomb site to try and fight in with Child King. Molotov goes in deep, so Child King's not going to have much cover. Land needed to peek out with him over there, and the communication just isn't present. Instead, he chooses to prioritize keeping a hold over the CT side, but the grenade, it's right on his head, takes him down. Gas has to do it all. There is an incendiary as well. Goes out. He peeks behind it, hoping to get in front and shut it down. Viva, however, is just a bit too good. He's 14-2, and he continues his streak of domination.
Yeah, I think that's his 5th double kill, or 6th maybe.
It is pretty nuts. He's very consistent with the multis.
Yeah, once again, he is the man to watch out for here on the side of Invictus. If Wings Up could prevent it, they'd happily go the other direction. But he's been super mobile. On B-side plays, he's so frequently getting to the market window in the nick of time. And now on the A-side retake, Viva does exactly what he needs to. Also, he isn't glued to the AWP. He doesn't feel like that has to be the crutch that carries him through a lot of these rounds if he needs to, switching out to the rifling. And aggressive steps here from Invictus over towards B. Deep smoke, flash as well. Wings Up wanted to go round it, but because of the flash, had to fall back instead. But IAR crept past. Unicorn not prepared for the fight all too heavily. And now Rage up on the balcony is unexpected. They didn't anticipate another player to be so close, but one won't be enough. Sight taken now for Wings Up.
But is it really though? Viva and Flying are on it, and playing from the back of it, Viva will finally fall. The raid boss is gone, but his minion creeps in before you can get the loot. Destroyer's put himself in a position where the little goblin is the one who'll take you down. Oh. That's only if he can move in. Lighting them up! Destroyer's got 2! Oh no! Oh no, Michael, it's like you just went AFK in an RPG after killing the main boss, thinking you've done it all, and then before you know it, that one last tiny chicken in the dungeon just pecks away at you. I don't want to call Destroyer a chicken, but it did seem like they'd just done everything that was needed.
Yeah, weren't expecting the fast flank in from Destroyer, and that's the second time he's taken that route toward the underpass in a B-sided play for Wings Up. So something that they would have had in the back of their mind that he went for a play similar, but yeah, catches such a great timing just as they were lining up and looking to double up in the market. Only for them to lose the round instead. They're setting up for future endeavors, only for that to be massively accelerated. Wings Up have been loving this A-side execute. And so once again, it seems like they will go back to it. 3 players here for Invictus though.
I mean, IIR's on such a hard lurk as well. They might need to be careful about this one. Molly goes straight down underneath. They're not getting kills this time. Viva's been able to move through the Molotov, but that's going to mean his HP is gone. And with it, Martin just needed 1 bullet through the smoke. A stray one that was bound to catch at some point or the other. Destroyer, though, again finds the timing, drops the bomb. And although it's recovered from Martin, Flying still got a great angle behind the smoke. He's working it perfectly. And Martin knows the risks. Things have slowed down to a standstill, a ceasefire. And they're creeping closer and closer together. Unicorn hoping to catch off anyone on the rotate. Flying spamming, praying, searching, but no information, and Wings Up want them to rotate. Wings Up need them to rotate.
Not a lot of utility and a Molotov in from Flying, so a little bit of info given over to that T side, and Flying investigates. He's that A side anchor that they were so worried about for so long. Finally, Rage will peer his head forward, but now no one peeks on the side of Wings Up. They do have Unicorn on this long wrapping flank in towards spawn, but they've taken so long that they're considering it.
Oh, Martin's down, and it's back to a 2-on-2. Unicorn will not have come in through Palace. Didn't think that he had time for it, so Gas is in the ultimate position to just end this round, and he knows it. IIR as well backs off, plays it safe, plays it cool, wants to play off of Gas instead. They're not sticking the bomb to defuse. Unicorn finds himself the first. Rage makes it 2, and IG are somehow untouchable on these retakes. They're up to 7, and this time they only needed Viva to get 1 kill.
Man, you could see the limitation of that execute there from Wings Up. Once they actually get a little bit of progress on the bomb site, once they get those opening kills, once those smoke fades, I mean, they don't have too much coverage. They don't have too much safety, especially because Flying is so frequently on that A bomb site. He's very rarely left it. They knew that he was someone that they had to find, and it took ages before Flying compromised his own position and gave up that kill to Wings Up. You can see the paranoia sort of creeping up on Wings Up as well, because they were constantly looking behind, considering the ramp flank, Palace flank as well. How has Land managed to creep out and deal with Viva? That's a high priority kill, and Flying, while he gets a quick trade, that's still going to work to Wings Up favor, especially with a kill at B as well.
And Child King's just making his way forward. Could have even dropped down. Instead, is content with getting information on Rage's positioning. Rage, of course, has been one of the second men, if not the second man, to have made a lot of these rounds possible. Destroyer's demise will be an unwelcome one to the camp in favor of the CT side. IG setting themselves up for a big individual play. Flying could potentially cut them off, but he's looking the wrong way, and Gas will be ready to intercept if he had peeked out. Slow walk forward. What's Flying gonna get? Bombs being dropped, and it's backwards, so he's got another chance. Makes it 3 massive kills, an ace that could come his way. Martin's the only one to contend with. He's got an incendiary to force him out, but Flying's got a smoke ready to rumble. Rage in the corner, flicked upon. Martin's got a chance. Martin's got the kill. The ace denied, and the round salvaged. Wings, who knows how they do it, but they find a 4th.
What more do you need to ask for from Flying? Coming in at a perfect time, in towards jungle, getting 3 kills is more than anyone would have bargained for. And then Martin getting the double kill in the clutch. Man, that round just turns on its head back and forth. It is literal inches between the two on some of these closer rounds, and Invictus's money ain't too hot. Have to get it done with a few deegs as well. Destroyer's getting opportunities at it, but tags is all he'll accomplish. Wings Up do take this A bomb site. There's no one close enough by to deny. And Flying, M4 around the corner, almost had the drop on one of the players, but Gas there to oversee.
Beaver's got the magic CZ, but the magic might have run out now, Michael. Sometimes the magic is in saving.
Yeah, the call makes a whole lot of sense, because that money's run thin. Wings Up have not lost a single man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that they're not setting up more for some sort of a couple of quick exits to try and pick up a weapon onto Viva. And the Kevlar CZ doesn't seem all that valuable, to be honest. You know, you've still got more loss bonus, and that's actually worth overall. Yeah, that's worth like 1,400. You know, I mean, I know you're not going to need to rebuy. It's just one of those situations where I prefer to see some damage on the T side economy personally, because I know that you're going to be, you know, having a Kevlar and CZ into the next round. But the fact that Wings just won a 1-versus-1 before this one, you really need to be able to put yourself in a position to reset the T economy towards the end of the half. Well,
based around those 2 weapons that were saved over, Wings Up have gone and looked for aggressive lines here on the side of Martin. If he had committed fully to this, would have had an open B bomb site, but now Unicorn's been given enough time to make it to the site. Molotov thrown, and Martin's already passed on the timing. Dropping down, there's noise made here for Unicorn. Has to come up big, but nothing found. MP9 doesn't treat him well in those fights, and while there's good reactions here from Invictus, the lack of weaponry does lead them to a whole lot to be desired. So this is looking like a nice conversion in from Wings Up.
I feel like it's very much, Michael, like my reactions when I'm playing myself. Because whenever I'm playing, I'll scream out loud because I get a jump scare, but I won't actually press left click. So I have good reactions, but just not the tools to get it done with. See, that's the problem, and that's the exact same problem that IG had in that situation.
Well, a poor workman blames his tools.
Yeah, and an even poorer workman doesn't have any tools. Right now, though, IG hoping that they've got enough to make work with, but Viva doesn't have the AWP. He'll have to make do with the rifle. He's good with that one. Don't make me change your mind about that. But we'll still have to wait to see where exactly he can get himself aggressive. Lands push out. Flashbang is good. Destroyer is very much out of town.
Sound cues for flying, but it's a quick trade in response. Committed to one fight, only for ramp to be the issue. Viva around the back of the smoke has actually crept forward. Flash was decent enough, and it's actually a team flash, but IE's Molotov will spread and finish the job. Once again, this can go down here on the side of Wings Up. Only Unicorn remaining once Rage is plucked out. And didn't have to do a whole lot of damage, but we'll be prioritizing the save, I would imagine. So you're really going to go for this here on the side of Invictus. They don't really have cash built up, and a 1-on-2 that Unicorn is trying his hand at.
I mean, they know they won't have a proper buy in the next round anyway, so if you can go for a miracle over here, then maybe something to be done. But Gas will decline the possibility, up to 13 for him now. And IG, despite what was an explosive beginning, despite everything looking fantastic for them leading into it, when Viva cooled down, you could see them losing the wind from their sails. You know, Viva has gone from being, what, 14-2 to 17-7, and that's still a crazy scoreline. Don't get me wrong, man. He's still a stud. But you don't have anyone else stepping up the same way he was before to enable those victories coming in. Destroyer's out.
I imagine the reaction is going to be to get some sort of a play going here on the side of Invictus, but they may not have the chance to think about that. Martin, good flash from Lan. Clearing out a ramp. Viva up close with the MP9 and eats the flash himself as well. No reliable Mr. Double Kill or multi-kills in for Invictus. Rage and Unicorn on MP9s, and now it is only that coach to come in and try and salvage anything together. Not to be, though. Wings Up do pull away with an 8-7 lead moving into the second half. We'll see if Invictus can get the ball rolling on their second side.
And we're back into things. Wings do manage to find the lead despite a fantastic half from IG to start things off. Now the question is, how is IG's play going to translate into the T side? I'm Tea Time, joined by none other than Michael Yumi Cassidy.
Hello, hello. Two sets of util here for Invictus here on this T side. I was a little worried for them once things started to creep around the back and Wings Up edge out the lead going into the second half. See if this util is put to good use over towards jungle and stairs. They are going to be able to create a little bit of a wall here, and you can see Child King moving back to prevent them deeper spawn control. Wings Up for the retake.
Oh, Child King's gonna have to drop soon. Was worried about those decoys, but in fact they are just decoys and not quite flashes. Child King, careful with the reload. He's picking up, but he can't give his teammates support. Land Child King and IIR are ripping them apart straight to shreds, and a nice flake from Destroyer will be ignored. As they move back in, they'll get the defuse. They'll pick up they will retrieve the fallen kit rather, and nicely done from Wings. Find themselves the knight.
I feel like there should just be a tally as to how many double kills Viva's been able to find.
There's been a lot.
Yeah, he is. If he's finding one, he's usually finding a second as well. So
yeah.
Still not enough for Invictus to get a T-side pistol, but I don't know, man. He's really come out with the hot hand in today's series, and at kind of the right moment to express that as well. Talked about the loss of bottle, but I don't know that he's as sorely missed if Viva's performing.
Oh, man, he's just lighting them up. Gas is there to help him out, finish off what he started, but the kind of damage he dealt is going to be remembered for generations to come. That's a scar that turns into a birthmark for your child. That's how bad it is. Now, well, speaking of scarring, IIL is going to be a little bit scarred in the backside. Michael and I were actually talking, sorry to cut you off, Michael, but we were talking in the break, and I was mentioning about how I'm hoping that Unicorn's able to, kind of lurk. He can find a lot of backstabs. Hell, Wings are just turning around and giving it to him.
Yeah. See, I wasn't sure because I kind of, there's so many different ways you can approach it when you know there's potentially like this firepower deficit, which isn't any shade at Unicorn. He's not an active player.
Of course, and I mean the player he is replacing for now, for this weekend,
exactly.
is
a
Bottle.
Considerable one.
Yeah, it was very much a baller.
So lurking could quite work out, being that second in as well. I feel like is another way to use him effectively. B-side is going to be pressured now with these last two remaining players. Martin isn't fully cleared though, and now it's only that coach that's put into a clutch scenario. That getting shot on the side, Martin goes in to sweep up the pieces. And it's really good communication between the remaining players on that site for Wings Up. Rotation from Gas came in the nick of time. And Invictus, in spite of going for that second round bye, don't really find all too much. Now Glocks on the cards.
Ye old Fateless.
I say Glocks, but, there's a P250 for roaming about. A couple Deegs as well. But one of those Deegs is gone. So, Viva and Rage may try and look to recover that. Don't imagine they want to keep with standard issue pistols, but Look how aggressive they're being with the MP9. Lan is just in their face, and he's taking a whole lot of damage for his endeavor. Not finding really too much of anything, but at least spotting players out, and so Wings Up can move in, secure the round, and there's Unicorn on this lurk.
That's actually hilarious, though, the fact that Lan's like, if I shoot with my USB, maybe he won't peek into me.
Yeah, I mean, Rage was actually low enough that I think if the next shot hit, it would have been
the bullet
fine,
hit, it would have been fine. But it is still funny to watch him just like running away, shooting.
Please don't swing me.
Yeah. Of course, Michael makes it seem like the reason why he's getting aggressive is because he has the MP9. I want everyone to be very clear about this. The reason why he's getting aggressive is because he's Lan. He also has an MP9, which helps out. But he has shown us many cases where he likes to press W and shoot people.
Yep. Also, he was trying to get some extra money in the pocket because he was going for that AWP investment.
That's a
miss smoke.
Yeah, I was wondering
about
that one.
So it bounced off something in the skybox, and things haven't really gone right in that regard, but still finding entry kills over towards A is a healthy prospect. Problem is there are counter kills in response from Wings Up, and that bomb not exactly in the best position to be recovered. Atop that default box, once again, Unicorn in a 1vx.
This is the problem when you choose to let the person who might not be the highest fragger, who's a little bit newer to the system because he's not used to being inside of it, even if he is one of the people who implemented it into it, is that you're very often going to have him left over in a clutch situation where you sort of know to count him off. And again, it's no shade to him. It's just one of those things where you can see the massive caveat that comes in with how they're being forced to play is that they effectively cannot rely on clutches. If Unicorn can bring one together, we saw him get a few nice ones in Nuke, but the expectation cannot and should not be placed there.
I wonder if we start to see them shift how he's being utilized, as they may even identify that as a problem themselves. It's like, who would we rather be in this situation? Think of a number of them. Though Viva, if he's in and amongst the action, has been pretty devastating on this half by Invictus. But actually do well to move over towards that B-bomb site. You can see Lan's position with the AWP, but with smokes potentially being thrown his way or over towards that B site, not exactly got that much control on the bomb site, and that's why he's called in a favor with IEM. Hey, get your body in there.
I'm about that out. I also respect Lan massively because he is indeed a man of culture. He has the paw, the golden kitty version. I think, oh no, it's not quite the golden kitty, but we'll have to hold the point for a little while longer. Right now, it's all about IIA finding a free kill, and Gas realizing, oh no, they're coming to A, aren't they? Gas is going to peek out soon. Flying's actually crept past very deep in, but Gas catches him out, peeks up for the second, and that could be what ends up costing them. A lot of tags coming in through the ticket booth, but Unicorn's the one to find one. Lan goes down, and Ayaya needs to really step up from this off angle. Only good for one, but he's able to double up, keeps his position long enough that Destroyer can isolate him. And with 15 seconds, Destroyer's got the bomb, but there's too many players all clustered together for him to deal with. Wings up to 13, even if they do lose out quite a few in that round.
Yeah, CT side's going to make it, or was at least an easier time in terms of implementing the quick stand-in, but the T side receiving a few fumblings in this early section of the second half. And where is Mr. Reliable? A huge part of the reason that Nuke went the distance was in that overtime situation in the first place, and they'll need similar performances, it feels like, out of Viva to get similar things done. Not exactly a run boost, just kind of walking off the top of the head, but no one here for Wings Up, so no problems. Invictus have control of middle, and now they can work the mid-round accordingly. Counter-reaction from Wings Up is to get aggressive, and Viva just head on a swivel, turns for the 180.
What the hell is that? Lan will respond, but it looks nowhere near as good as Viva did. About the 1-for-1 at the end of the day, and numbers are what matter. Destroyers might have caught the timing window though. No one noticed him creeping forward in towards jungle, and Rage is taking that time to make some noise over towards this B bomb site. Market's going to be smoked off. It's a long throw coming in. Martin spouts out Rage, but Rage is ready with the pre-fire. Takes him down. Destroyer again. His position is going to be so crucial. They are not going to be expecting this, and they don't check it. Lands caught out and brought down in the meanwhile, and it's all down to Gas on this bomb site. If he can find Unicorn, take him down. That's a bomb being dropped, and Child King being given space to move on over, and indeed that space has been found. Viva, last one left alive, and that's exactly what you want. Child King's going for a quick jump across. He will not land it though, and instead is forced to come in the long way around. The bomb can be planted because of that, and Child King's left in a 1v1. Viva, 2 angles to deal with. Too many angles to deal with. And Child King might be able to take advantage of this. He gets the instant headshot for once. It seems like Viva is outgunned and outmatched. Wings will recover the op. They will recover the round.
Yeah, just when you think this is the man you want here in the clutch, it comes down to a big 1v1 that's won out by Child King instead. And that's a great heads-up play from Child King. Always understood that his position, his last known one, was over towards that A site, so takes the lengthier approach on the rotation, even though he did try for the short jump. And that's a really tough position to be in if you're Viva. Constantly worrying about both sides of the coin. Not really having confirmation as to where they're coming from. Still yet to get around here on this T side. While Invictus have been close, Wings Up are always there to close things out, and Lance taking matters into his own hands. Opportunity at an opening pick with this AWP. Invictus going to be kind of their lucky stars. They didn't fall victim to that. Don't want to fall into this 4-on-5 because they need to get this comeback rolling.
They slowed things down so much. There's no way for them to get onto the bomb site safely. There aren't enough flashes for that, and the problem is that with 2 players who are ready to rotate over this soon, they are very quickly going to be fighting up against the full might of Wings' squad. Martin moves in. Martin spots up, but he misses a shot. A chance has been given. 3 players to drop, and Martin trades. In the meanwhile, lands good for another, and the rotations have been cut off at their feet before they can even make their way over. Now instead, Destroyer, he's alone on the bomb site, but he's able to find one and locate the second. Martin's position is known, and he can't get the flick. So many shots being missed. Martin needs to land this shot very soon, but Destroyer is able to outpace the scope, and Martin scoped out Invictus Gaming. Find the 8.
As if Destroyer is able to get those 4 kills that's needed. Viva was so detached from the action. You could see Destroyer was just there to bide time. But with Martin being unable to trade out on that AWP, Destroyer just keeps himself alive, constantly jiggling the angles. And then finally, by the time Viva's in position, that's when Destroyer made his move. That's a big round to find. And you can see as well, I mean, there are a couple fumblings there from Wings Up. IAL on short missed his Molotov into deep apps. That was meant to disrupt the flow of the execute there from Invictus. And then missed shots on missed shots for the AWP. It's now double AWPs. Once again brought forward here for Wings Up. They'll have a deep sight line in towards Palace. So the A site will have this extra element to it if Invictus do decide to converge up a ramp and the connector. Have to keep it in the back of their mind that someone could be up close. It will be left in the hands of IAL with that MP9 to hold true to that position.
Careful now, Gas. Destroyer's been caught, sure, but they're still coming over towards this A bomb site. It's going to be a slow hit over, and Gas doesn't have much HP to work off of, so Child King will be heavily relied upon, and he is heavily reliable. Bomb's been dropped, and they'll have to trail back to go get it, which means that Gas has a lot more time to rotate in towards CT to try and double up around this. Rage, meanwhile, Popping over to his triple. Should have a chance to catch out Child King. Child King speaking out. A quick tag through as well. An Incendiary goes down, and he doesn't have a chance to back off. Rage will even get the headshot before it's needed, but it's still 2-on-2. Gas found the planter, and it's not down yet. Flying through the smoke straight to the head. And Lan. Oh, Lan. You can find the bomb again. A one-on-one. Lan's got it, the shadow advantage, and he's got the round 15-8. They cannot be thwarted.
And so many key timings being hit there for Wings Up. You could see on the initial line towards that A bomb site, you know, giving up the angle, Child King re-peeking into Viva. And Viva's been so good this series about reading what his opponent's going to do, even if shots are missed. Do they fall back? Do they play it safe? He just thought they'd hide away and try and play for the retake. Instead, took the fight right to Viva, and that was a high priority frag. Now, in with the vengeance. In with the Galil. Viva has found the first, and there's almost a second player that falls here for Wings Up. But now it's double flank. They're trying to deal with Unicorn. He's left on that B side aggression. So much utility sailing his direction, and IEM in his face, but this A site can be taken.
Have they put too much pressure into finding the lurk is the big question. Lan's gone. No more defenses. You commit so hard to finding the dedicated lurk that you know will be there that Invictus have the time to speed things up. This is the advantage. As the Destroyer finds Martin, this is the advantage of running such a unified setup. You are very quick to respond on the T side. It's a luxury that isn't afforded by modern day defaulting the same way, but it's working out for them. Gas is all alone, and with 4 HP, he wants nothing to do with this.
Yeah, he's out of there. Man, what a great job as well there from Unicorn. Sure, he gets run down, but he keeps 3 players busy enough there on the Wings Up side that, yeah, this vacant A bomb site is fully taken as a result of that, and Gas won't even get away with the M4 that was saved over. It's a bit of a different round, a different approach there from the CT side, but with them already being up to 15, may feel a little bit more comfortable trying to go in for some of these set pieces, you know, coming in with firm objectives into the round instead of just trying to act reactively off of what Invictus are doing. And especially if Viva is finding opening kills so early into rounds, that may even prompt more plays like it from the Wings Up CT side.
I mean, for Invictus right now, the worst possible thing that could happen is these deagles popping off, and Child King's gonna have a chance. He's moved down for 1, and he's been able to back off as well. Repeat could come through, but they don't have a second flash to try and guarantee something off the back of it. Gas instead comes in to provide assistance. It's coming in hard. Child King finishes off another one. There's blood all over the floor, and it belongs to both sides, but it's IEM who's going out, out, out. Martin. Oh, Martin. He's been given time. He's been given time, but the jump, he's impatient. And he's just not able to find it. If Flying had fallen, he can recover the rifle. He can recover some fallen utility. And then it's anyone's round. But instead, Wings Up are not able to close that one out.
Yeah, even if he was just a bit more patient, right? If he had waited, because you could see Flying was starting to relocate, try and get back into ramp. A little bit more safety. Martin had the perfect angle to punish, but chose that time to jump over towards Tetris as well. Well, yeah, standard issue pistols are out in spades here for Wings Up. Destroyer's out already top middle, and Viva and him are finding all the kills needed. Only Child King left, and around the smoke actually will find the kill.
Okay.
All right, no problems.
He'll not go out unbloodied, at least, you know?
Just letting Unicorn get one more added to the tally. Really teed him up for that one.
Yeah. Rough game for him so far.
And we always expected that coming into this, right?
Of course.
You understand that the coach isn't always going to be at the same point. You know, you're not committing the same amount of hours to just the mechanics of things, but...
Yeah.
On Mirage, it has been a little bit more noticeable. You know, it can't always play these tricky angles, and that was one of the worries coming into the second map. That while he was being tricky on Nuke, that doesn't always transfer over to Mirage. Unicorn taking a lot of damage. Early pre-nade from Wings Up was on point, and look at the aggression, speeding up over towards B.
Oh no, IIR's caught out Unicorn, and there's no way for them to get on without killing him. That's exactly what Rage does, but the trades are great from Wings. They keep things in their favor. Lan, however, might not be looking to keep his cool. Molotov goes in, but he is rather not unsure. He is circling
Big
back
kill.
in. Massive.
Yeah,
Viva
Viva taking a little bit more market control, and he cleared things out, but now trying to dial in on the prospect of a flank and short. That's where Gas and Lan have been spotted out, but Gas tapping away, and Flying swings right out into him. It's 3 kills for Gas in the round, and a big clutch for Wings Up to take the series 2-0.
And what a way to do it. Invictus Gaming looked like they managed to find some sort of control, some sort of semblance of